Sam, the plan is to be run heavy again today, and that's both of them. Look, I talked to some Bears coaches, and I said, I flat out asked, like, what is it with Justin Fields? Do you guys not trust him yet to throw the ball? And the answer came back, no, that's not it. Just really have a lot of faith in our run game and really feel like the best way for us to win games right now is to not ask too much of the young quarterback while he's learning a new offense, while he's developing in that offense. Head coach Matt Eberflus said the key with Justin is just timing and rhythm of the passing game, and that takes time. In the meantime, they like to run it. They think that's what they're good at. Even with David Montgomery out, they think Khalil Herbert can give them what they need in the run game. So I expect them to run it. Same thing with the Giants and how great Saquon Barkley has looked this year and how banged up they are at wide receiver. You look at who's going to be catching the ball from Daniel Jones today. You're looking at Kenny Golladay. You're looking at Darius Slayton, David Sill. I mean, there just isn't a lot there in terms of star power. The Giants have been happy with what Galladay's shown them in practice, and they feel like he's close to having a decent game, but really, they really want to run the ball through Saquon Barkley. One Giants coach I talked to this week said, what we want to do is keep it grimy and get the game to the fourth quarter and try and win it there. Sam, it's going to be windy here, already windy here, and it's probably going to rain at some point, so grimy might be the word of the day.
Keep it grimy. That's a vibe I can go with.
9-on-7 drill. It's 9-on-7. Run.
You know it's not good when they're saying, when you're a wide receiver and they're saying he's close to having a decent day. I don't know that that's necessarily a vote of confidence, but let's talk about these two. Randy, one of these two teams, barring a tie, of course, is going to be 3-1 after today. Which one are you feeling in this one?
Well, I like the new energy in New York, led by the new head coach, Brian Daboll. Rex, I'm going to take it back to when you used to have your locker room fired up, when you used to have your players just jumping through the roof for you. This is something I see that's going on in New York. Yes, for the last couple of years, they may not have had their coach. But one thing that I know about Brian Daboll, what he brings out in his player. So you telling me after a win, Rex, we go in the locker room and our coach is leading us on whatever chant, rant, hip-hop, whatever it is. You talking about running through a brick wall.
Get it, Daboll.
In this game right here, the one thing that I do like about the New York Giants led by Brian Daboll is he's getting Saquon Barkley back to what we saw him last. Second in the National Football League in rushing. So, Sam, to your question, who do I see at 3-1 at the end of the day? Be the New York Giants led by this head coach because he has the running back that they drafted from Penn State playing at a high level.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, Randy. And that positive energy, I mean, Saquon Barkley, how about the two-point play when they converted and Saquon has to lower his shoulder and then make the play to get in there? That's when it changed. That's when it's kind of cool to be a Giant fan now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, look, it's kind of cool to be a Bear fan, but we can't throw the football. Like, that's the problem that we're looking at. We could play defense like the Bears always used to, and this is a ground and pound offense. So you talk about, like, this game's going to be over in, like, 62 minutes. You know what I mean? They're going to run the heck out of it, Brew. And you and I were talking. It's a 9-on-7 game, isn't it?
It is, and you weren't going to be doing any dancing like that in the locker room for your team.
He could.
Way better now. You know that I cross somebody up, it'd be over.
Don't do it, Rex. Don't do it.
So Daboll came into this place to fix one thing, and that's Daniel Jones, right? I mean, the biggest problem with Daniel Jones was one of the worst in the last 3 years of turning the football over, right? Ball security. So he's got 3 turnovers in the first 3 games. So I looked at it right from the beginning. I mean, that's a huge accomplishment right there to get your quarterback to take care of the football. We're talking about running the football, though, and we talk about Saquon and the running backs in Chicago, but these 2 quarterbacks may lead these teams in rushing after this game. If it's rainy and windy, both of their athletic abilities in terms of running the football is going to be a big key for it for me.
Yeah, and I agree with everything you're saying about the Giants and Saquon, but like in the 2-1 is very impressive. The Bears, it's impressive that they're 2-1, but their offense to me looks like a service academy. Like they do not even try.
That's not a compliment.
Which is like, it is kind of a compliment though, in a sense that because it's really, really hard to play a service academy. I lost to many in my college career. Defensive coordinators don't want to play against it, but this is the NFL. Eventually, like right now, Justin Fields has 23 completions in 3 games. 23 completions in 3 games. He's got 2 of the worst interceptions you'll ever see last week. He's got 4 interceptions and only 2 touchdowns. Like at some point, he's going to have to grow up and develop.
We said that same stuff last year, Matt.
The difference is right now is they are actually winning games while he's developing. But you cannot continue to do this like, oh, we just really like our run game is what they're saying. That's not true, okay? What's true is you really like your run game and you have absolutely no faith in your passing game. That's what's true about it. So I think the Giants are a way better team than the Chicago Bears. Like long term, that's what we're going to see. We're going to see the Giants have a season where they're relevant at the end of the year. The Chicago Bears just, to me, look like a team that's almost like I don't know. They're not a contender at all right now.
Well, they also have started like this before. I mean, we've seen the last 3 years, they've started 3-1. What do you think they would have to do differently? I mean, in a game like this, obviously, you don't want to, especially if weather is an issue, you don't want to put too much on him throwing the ball. You want to run the ball. What do you want to see different from them today?
I mean, I just think they need to have balance, okay? Like what Justin Fields brings to the table in terms of talent, he's got incredible amounts of talent, but what we see out of execution, I think you talked about it, Daniel Jones, early in his career, he was bottom 5 in the NFL in turnovers. That's a real problem. And I think for Justin Fields, he needs to just protect the football. I'm fine with him growing, like learning on the fly, but he has to protect the football. And those 2 interceptions last week, he can't do that today.
I mean, defensively, you can force this guy to be a quarterback. I mean, somehow, it starts with stopping the run, but the way you call it, you know this, Coach. I mean, you put guys up there to stop this run, and you get them in 3rd and long situations, and that's where you got them. If you don't let him out of the pocket and scramble for a first down, because that's probably, we know on defense, that's probably the biggest threat that he has to convert and move the chains is getting out and using his legs.
Yeah, still a lot of questions about Justin Fields. Really haven't seen the full potential yet, but I really did like seeing the players on this Giants team rally around Daniel Jones this week. It did Super Bowl 52 as we say hello.
Disappointed.
Welcome. Of course, he's still talking about food. I'm Sam Ponder with Randy Moss, Rex Ryan, Teddy Bruce, and Matthew Hasselbeck. A lot to get to today, but we start with our insiders because there has been a lot of news this week. And for that, we get to Chris Mortensen and Adam Schefter. Good morning, guys.
Well, good morning, Sam. Quite a busy week of news, and most of it surrounded the Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. We'll have plenty coming up about the NFL's modified concussion protocols, as well as the investigation that will interview Tua Tagovailoa this week. But as for another quarterback in the AFC East, Mac Jones has been ruled out today. He's dealing with a high ankle sprain that eventually could require surgery. This is ordinarily a 4 to 6 week injury. And so even though Coach Bill Belichick is saying it's day by day, it's more likely week by week when it comes to Mac Jones. And we know this week he will not be playing against the Packers. Brian Hoyer steps in and starts his first game since a Monday night game at Kansas City. As for the Cleveland Browns and their defensive end, Myles Garrett, very fortunate to escape a single car accident this past week when his car rolled over. He did sprain his shoulder, sprained a C-joint. He did strain his biceps. He's been ruled out of today's game against the Atlanta Falcons. And even though he could return and play next week, he will be dealing with this shoulder pain for about 1 month moving forward. But Myles Garrett is fortunate it wasn't worse, Mort.
And it's another game for Justin Herbert since he fractured his rib cartilage. If you saw last week, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty to a point where people thought he should have been taken out of that game. But Justin Herbert practiced in full on Thursday, practiced on Friday. He says he's actually learned how to manage the injury and how to throw with it. And Joe Lombardi, the offensive coordinator, also said he's learning how to call the game differently with this injury. Problem is, they got a lot of injuries on that team going to Houston today. Sam?
Just a brutal part of the game. More on injuries later in the show. But for now, let's talk about the happy stuff. Let's get to our opening kicks, what we're most excited to see today. Randy, kick us off.
Well, let's take it on down to Tampa. I'm speaking confidence. I'm talking confidence, Matt. Reason why? Ladies and gentlemen, Buck fans, Mike Evans is back.
Okay.
Took a week off last week with the fight in New Orleans, but Tom Brady needs his pass catcher back.
Fresh leg.
Last week, the young guys didn't step up. Well, guess who is coming in town? The Kansas City Chiefs, led by Patrick Mahomes. Yes, they had 2 additions in the offseason, Mr. MVS and Juju Smith-Schuster. No touchdown receptions by the both of them today in Tampa. In order for Kansas City to win this game, the 2 vets going to have to show up. Can't wait to see this one.
Well, Moss, I'm looking for smash mouth football from quarterbacks. Yeah, and I'm going to say it, from quarterbacks, because that's what makes these guys special to me. Can they do it with their arms? Yes, but Josh Allen, okay, Lamar Jackson, quarterback power, quarterback counter, all of that stuff, read option, those type of things. This is Lamar Jackson doing, safeties, linebackers, one-on-one.
Watch out.
I don't know what you're going to do against this, because against this guy here, the stiff arm is coming. He does not want to get tackled. You're going to have to go low. Big man running the football, and they play the quarterback position. I love it.
All right, let's talk about another quarterback. Cooper Rush filling in for Dak Prescott. He's won his first 3 starts, 3-0. Some people are saying he's going to be better than the other guy in Dallas who went 3-0 in his first 3 starts.
Ain't nobody saying that.
People are saying that. Randy, as you would say, the Twitter is saying that. Okay? He's using play action later in the show. We're going to show you how they're doing it. I believe he goes 4-0 as a starter, gets a win against Washington today.
He'll go 4-0 because of that defense, Matt. But I tell you what, we talking about these quarterbacks, these young superstar quarterbacks. Man, take a look at this guy, Jalen Hurts. Yeah, we saw the dual threat, man. This guy runs like a halfback. Guess what? He can throw the heck out of the ball, too. His deep ball's really improving. I mean, you talk about guys you don't want to defend. I don't want to go up against this guy. Man, he could do it all, run, throw, great dual threat quarterback. But you know what? Let's take a look at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yes, that team. Remember the old Saxonville?
Yes,
well, Saxonville is back.
yes.
And I'll tell you what, they got 2 bookends named Josh Allen, and then the first overall pick, Trayvon Walker. Are you kidding me? Here they come. Jalen Hurts, watch out.
Jacksonville?
Wow.
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville?